Hello everyone, welcome back to another video once again. Um, as you may know, I'm Patrick. Um, I'm just I'm making these videos to really give insight and create a positive impact in the world and to help people of all ages and everything, just help them mentally, hopefully spiritually, and if I can impact your life physically as well, emotionally it can really help. But first and foremost, also, I want to thank everyone for the feedback on the last video, my first video. I want to thank everybody for that. It was a lot of good positive comments, positive responses. Just people just calling me and stuff too. Like, it was really good. A lot of good feedback. Like, I'm very happy for that. Thank you so much for all of that. Some other stuff I want to mention. Yeah, this is really cool. I want to keep doing this. Hopefully, I can crank out more videos and more stuff that's on my mind that I feel like a lot of people need to hear, and it can help this grow. But one thing I definitely want to do is I want to start a little like tradition, kind of, not really a tradition, but something I like to do, and that's one thing I have that not a lot of people know about is I have a big candle collection. I've low key used majority of them, and I throw a lot of them away. But now I'm gonna start it back up again with all my candles. So I'll do it like this. Every Hopefully every 2-3 videos I'll switch it up. But one of this, I have a candle right here. It's one of my favorite candles ever. This is literally, I make sure I burn this on special occasions because I love the smell. It's like a celebration. But yeah, no, this candle is cool, and I feel like this is a special occasion. I don't know. It's my second video, so I'm gonna burn the candle. Oh shoot! Yeah, don't mind me. I light up my candles. I light up my lighters weird sometimes. But yeah, no. But yeah, and we'll do this. Hopefully, I don't know how many times I'm gonna do it in a video, but I just like burning the candle. It's nice. It calms me down. It makes me feel cool. Hopefully, it makes you feel cool and chill another day. But let's get to the topic of the video. And the topic of today is, and what I've been like thinking about a lot is self control. Self control. That's a big thing that's been on my mind, and I feel like a lot of people need to understand and really hear about it. It's one of the biggest things. The thing about self control is it's not only just your mind, it's your spirit. It's the emotions that you have. It's the physical things that you do. Like, I'll give an example of each single one. Like, I'll start with physical, self control. When you're in the gym, you're pushing out weight and stuff. I dealt with this yesterday. I was in the gym. I was pushing out weight, but sometimes I go a little bit too fast and I over exert myself, and that's not good. I need to give myself time and not curl so fast. I have to slow down, squeeze the muscle so the muscle fibers are breaking, and then slowly come down. That's how you're gonna really build muscle and things of that nature. You're not gonna build that just by going quick. In some ways you can, you know what I'm saying? You're building up the fast twitch muscle fibers, you can, but really, if you're trying to really control the weight, that's why they always say go slow and control, but you need to control the weight. That's gonna help you really build muscle and get bigger and let your muscle go. Everybody, you're basically doing it to get stronger and to get bigger muscles. So that's a big physical for me. Um, Another one, I'll go into it emotional because I know that's one of the main ones. You gotta have emotional control and a lot of emotional, I'd say, like restraint, because the thing about our emotions, a lot of the times we play stories in our head all the time, and it's just like, oh my goodness, like, what if this happens? What if that happens? Control yourself, take a deep breath, and understand that the outcome's gonna come out good. It's thinking positive. It's a choice to think negative. It's a choice to think negative, even in the worst situations. You can think of something positive in the best situation. It's a choice. control your emotions. Easier said than done, of course, but it takes practice, like with everything. You need to control your emotions. You need to, because that can lead into a negative outcome. For example, I remember I was upset about something with one of my friends, and it wasn't even that big of a deal, honestly. The issue wasn't really that big of a deal, but one thing I remember is I was holding myself back. I was holding myself back from just exploding, and that's something I didn't want to do, but I couldn't control myself anymore. I directed that energy towards them, and that's another thing too. You have to control yourself, but you can't bottle stuff in a lot of the time either. It can be expelled through different ways. For example, when I was mad at my friend, I was just so angry, so I just yelled at them. I just yelled at them. I'm like, you did it, ah. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the house. I don't feel like yelling, but I'm just angry. I wasn't controlling myself. Anger just overtook me, and that's one thing you don't want to overtake. You don't want your negativity to overtake you. Anger just overtook me, and I could have dealt with that situation way better if I just controlled myself, relaxed, and then found another way to vent that energy, that negative energy. I could have waited and just be like, you know what, bro, I'm gonna talk to you later. I can't talk right now. Hang up, just end the phone call, and then just you know, go punch a punching bag, go for a run, do anything that's gonna make you want that energy to just go away. You know what I'm saying? Make those emotions go away. Talk to someone. That's a big thing. So that's where self control is. Spiritually, you gotta have spiritual self control. It's whether you're religious or not, whether you believe in God or not. I feel like if you're going down this aspect, you need to have your spiritual control. And one thing that I really noticed in my life is and that I've obtained, and I'm still learning how to control myself, just like everybody else. I'm not perfect. I'm not Jesus Christ. But one thing I've known is you have to put in the work to show results, and you can't let your flesh rule you. And that's one thing that a lot of people can't handle. That's why a lot of people have addictions to a lot of this stuff. A lot of people have vices and things of that nature, but you need to really control yourself. You need to control yourself. For example, and this goes with like sins. There's a lot of sins in this world, and this goes with a lot of them. So I'll bring in one that typically a lot of people won't expect: gluttony. Gluttony, people usually associate it with overeating and then just being greedy. And just when you think of gluttony, you think of somebody who's overweight and things like that. But really, it's not that. It goes much more deeper than that. But to compare it, I had to control myself because I was being very gluttonous. At a point in time in my life, I was a little overweight. Your boy was chubby. All right, listen, nothing wrong with chubby people, but I don't like to be chubby. I like having a six pack. I like my muscles. So I like to look good. If you're chubby, you look good. No shame to people that are chubby. You look good. For me though, I don't think I look good like that. That's just me. Anyways, yeah, but your boy wasn't eating good. Not to mention, nah, you can be chubby and still eat good though. That's the thing though. Like, you can be a little bit big, but you still eating healthy. Just I wasn't eating healthy. I was eating burgers at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was ordering pizza, just like a whole bunch of pizza. Just burgers and pizza, just terrible diet. No fruits, no vegetables. And I was really just overeating. I would eat like boxes of pizza like all the time. Like not like I say boxes, like I would finish it by myself. Like yeah, like bro, like no, bro, I can't be no, like I can't do that no more. I actually can't do that no more. I just wasn't in control of myself, bro. I was not in control of myself. And to relate that to it with the spiritual aspect, a lot of times in the Bible it talks about how you have to control your flesh, because your flesh is what's gonna lead you down. like down. And once you control your flesh, you can it's like a superpower, you know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people they practice fasting, and I feel like that's one thing that's definitely helped me a lot. I fasted numerous amounts of times. I fasted for a day. The amount of time I fasted for was 3 days. That was hard. Hopefully one day in the future I'll be able to fast even more. Maybe I'll go on a 10-day fast. Maybe I would never go on a 30-day fast. That's not for me. I can't do that, but I will do what I can handle. I feel like if it's something I know I can't handle, I'm not gonna do it. But I will one day do it. But yeah, I've been on multiple fasts, and that's definitely showed me a lot of self control. Because it showed me my spirit is stronger than my flesh. The thing about your flesh is gonna do a lot of stuff to you that you don't really want to do. I'll throw in another example in there. For example, a lot of people have addictions to drugs. I'll put in heroin. Never did heroin. I'm just putting heroin. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's a very addictive drug to come off of. And the thing about it is you need help with that. It's nothing, you need help. You need like to go to counseling. You need to like be on something to get off heroin. That's a big deal, you know. And a lot of people don't realize the most abiding thing by heroin is it's your flesh. The drugs, it changes your it changes how you think. It it changes how your body is dependent on it. Your body's not dependent on that. Your body dependent on the things you need like water and food, but it switches that and makes it feel like you're dependent on it. That's not how it is. That's how your flesh tricks you. That's why a lot of people need to realize that your spirit is stronger than your flesh. Your spirit is truly stronger than your flesh, but you have to practice those acts in doing it. You must. It's essential. Myself, I practice those acts of fasting, but I fast, for God, that He leads me into this to build a close relationship with Him. You know, you have to starve the flesh. You have to. Not all of it. It doesn't matter how much you starve it, but you must. For example, today I'm in a pretty good diet. You know what I'm saying? I eat eggs, uh, bagel. I don't know. It's good to me. It's good to me. But one thing I didn't have today was lunch. I'm like, dang, I don't have lunch today. It's gonna be low key a long day because I'm hungry. I'm not gonna have dinner. I'm gonna get home at like 9 o'clock tonight. I went to work at what, uh, around like 10 or 11. It's gonna be a long day without any lunch. Now, what I could do, I could go and buy food and all that. Am I gonna buy something good? No. I'm gonna probably buy like I don't. I'm gonna buy fast food. I don't want to generalize a lot of fast foods because a lot of fast food I don't really eat. But I'm gonna buy some fast food that I know I shouldn't be eating and money I shouldn't be wasting. What I did though, I controlled myself. I said, you know what? I'm not going to buy this. I'll be hungry for a little bit. I'm not gonna be hungry forever. I'm not gonna be hungry forever. I got home. I waited. I was like, okay, finally, I can finally eat. I can finally eat. What happens? The meat in my freezer is frozen because I forgot to take it out. Oh my goodness. Now, remember that last video I was talking about patience. That's patience right there. And what I could have did as well, I could have just ate something. I could have just ate something quick, a little snack, a little yogurt. I'm like, no. I want something that's gonna fill me up. I can't eat 4 yogurts. That's not going to fill me up. Mind you, those are for breakfast. Those are for breakfast for tomorrow, the next day, and the day to come. I need a meal. So I waited. I defrosted my meat. I did all the things I needed to do. Waited like 40 minutes. It defrosted. It was still a little bit frozen, but it's okay. Broke it up, put it on the pan, cooked me some meat, cooked me some pasta, ate it. I controlled myself from going out and just go buy some like fast food that I really care about and just like I have food at home. You know what I'm saying? I control myself. I save my money. I save I save my body in the end. You know what I'm saying? Something healthy that I like to eat. Not something that's, I could have bought something healthy, but healthy stuff costs a lot of money these days. Anyways, yeah. So that's one way of self control. But a lot of things, a lot of benefits to it about self control. The benefits of self control, you're more disciplined, and then once you're disciplined, it really helps you a lot in certain situations of life that you have to go through because you're able to control yourself. It's like it's like people that are very anxious with with texting. I used to be one of those people. I used to have a friend. This dude doesn't text you back until like 3 weeks later, bro. 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later. I used to be, dude, is this dude not my friend? Blah 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 blah. And I'm just like putting so much stuff in my head, not controlling my emotions, and not just controlling myself. Because that's another thing about self control you gotta realize. The only thing you are in control of a lot of the times is yourself internally. That's it. You can't control how other people act. You can't control how this situation is gonna be. That's why it's called self control. You need to control yourself. That's the abiding principle by it. You need to control yourself because once you control yourself, you're able to make the choices externally to go about your day, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. I know I'm kind of a couple of tangents right there, but yeah, that's one of the things you need to do. So yeah, self control is really a big thing, and not to mention there's so much benefits at the end. Like when you control yourself, you're on a strict regimen or something. Spiritually, Oh, I'm gonna go back to my friend. I'm sorry. Yo, this video's taking a while, but no, but my friend, yeah, I was a little anxious, but one way I controlled myself from just over texting him, I just called him. I just call him, and I do that. I just only call people when it's necessary. If they're my friends, my close friends, family, I just call them. They don't answer. It's okay. I'm in control of what I can do. If I want to get in contact with you, I'll just call you. That's it. I'll call you if you don't answer. You can call me back. You see my phone call. If you don't see my phone call, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you. Because if it's that important, I will reach out more. But I'm controlling myself in those aspects. But yeah. Also some ways of self control that also are beneficiary to you. It's just yeah, you gain discipline. Not to mention, it helps build a lot of perseverance. You know, you're sitting in the act of chaos that could be abiding in your mind, but you know you're in the suffering and you're controlling yourself through that suffering. I know that can be a lot, really difficult for people. That's why I bring up anxiety. Because everybody has anxiety. Everybody has anxiety. Some people deal with it a lot. Some people deal with it less. But everybody has anxiety, and that's a really big thing in today's day and age. It's just like how much are you willing to let your mind play a game on you and you not control it and you just trust in the things that you need to trust in. That's a big thing. That's a big thing that a lot of people don't really have. I wouldn't say they don't have it, they just haven't unlocked it because everybody has it. Anybody can do it. It just takes time and practice. I want to end off on this. It's a Bible verse that I've been, thinking about a lot lately, and it talks about not really. It talks about self control, but also talks about perseverance and how you should really stay grounded. This is Romans chapter 8, verses 22 through 25, and it says, "For we know that the whole creation groans and labors with birth pangs together until now. Not only that, but we also, who have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves, groan within ourselves, eagerly waiting for the adoption, the redemption of our body. For we were saved in this hope. But hope that is seen is not hope. For why does one still hope for what he sees? But if we hope for what we do not see, we eagerly wait for it with perseverance." When I read that, I think of faith and having faith, in God and yourself and a lot of stuff, but, just having faith in general. And when you have faith, you need to have self control in those moments. You know, you're letting it go. You're letting it go, and you're gonna not freak out. You're not gonna crash out. You're just gonna have faith. It's gonna be good, and you're rooted within yourself, and you're controlling yourself. So if you could take one thing out of this, remember self control. Thank you guys for watching. I hope everyone has a great day, great night, great morning. Start your day. But yeah, have a lot of self control. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, comment, share, do all those types of things. But thank you, and have a great day, everyone.